I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. So welcome, everybody. This is my first meeting as the chair of the board, so please be patient, be graceful. There may be some missteps along the way, but along with it being my first official meeting, it is Dr. Amanda Hester's first official meeting as the superintendent of Lovingston County. We are super glad to welcome her here, super glad to have her. We are looking forward to all of the amazing things we know that you and your whole team at Lovingston County are going to achieve in the coming years. As we have said, you aren't allowed to leave. Once you're here, we don't let you go. So thank you and welcome. I don't know if you've got anything you want to say or.
I have a mic that you have to turn on and off, which I appreciate. No, just I've said it time and time again, what an honor and a privilege it is to be able to serve as superintendent. This is a beautiful place, but more than that, it has so much to offer, and I'm really appreciative of this opportunity. I'm really looking forward to not only getting to know the students and staff, but also the community. I'm very lucky to have been one of the fortunate few to find a place to live. It's beautiful, it's working out, and I've really had a chance to kind of get out in the community and really become a part of it, and I'm excited. And you know, I can't wait for August 10th to come around, so then we have all of our students back. But you know, first things first, hit the ground. This is my 13th day, I think. So we're hitting the ground running and getting a chance to meet our staff. And they're a wonderful team to work with between the school board and the staff that we have here, and really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to get going.
We're glad you're here. Thank you very much. So one of the great things being post-COVID, post-pandemic is we get back to recognizing our kids, our students, and our staff, and I think Coach Mullins has got some students he wants to recognize. But moving forward, we hope to have lots more of these recognitions among students and staff.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate these kids coming out tonight for sure and their families. We may have a couple more trickle in. We've got several who are on vacation and others who are working this summer. But we do have about half the kids that we wanted to recognize tonight are here with us today. We're going to recognize the first team all districts student athletes. And kind of the process for first team all district. And what we do is we get our kids a plaque. Our fall and winter first team all district athletes have already received their plaques, but our spring athletes have not. So for all district, they get a plaque. For all first team all district, they get a plaque. For first team all region, they get a plaque. And I'm happy to say for a state champion, which we do have an individual state champion here today. We'll recognize Hunter in a second officially, but he will get a state championship ring. And it's been ordered, it's been sized, but it's not here yet. So we'll recognize Hunter in a pregame ceremony at one of our football games this fall. So we're really looking forward to that. But we'll start with our fall sports athletes. We only had one first team all district player in the fall, and that was Riley Truslow. And Mr. Walker has a certificate for you. Shake hands, stop the picture as well. Just hang out up here with us. Yeah.
Make sure Mom might want to get a picture.
Come on. Recreate that.
Thank you.
In our winter sports, we had three student athletes who made first team all district. The first was Mr. Jaron Purvis, who's with us. And Jaron was, we recognized him in probably the March or April meeting when we recognized the first team all district the district champion boys basketball team. So we talked about some of his accomplishments. But Jaron was first team all district, first team all region, second team all state, and he was also Dogwood District Player of the Year, and the second leading vote getter at the all region meeting. So Jaron certainly, and Riley, I'm going to talk about her more in a second because she was the only student athlete we had to make first team all district in 2 sports. So we'll talk about her more in a second. Other boys basketball member who's not here was the first team all district player. His family's at the beach on vacation. Is Blaze McGarry. And And then we had one of our girls basketball players be recognized first team all district, and that's Tamaya Vester. And Tamaya's a junior, so she'll be back next year. We're looking forward to that for sure. And she's also a three-sport sport athlete. Now, a couple, I'm going to mention the spring sports athletes, those who aren't here first. Just, we'd love for them to be here, but I think every single one of them are on vacation who aren't here. And softball, Rachel Thompson was first team all district as an at-large player. Boys soccer, and we do have one of the team members here, and I think another one's on his way, but Chris McGrath was first team all district forward. He's not here, he's on vacation with his family, but he had a great year. Girls soccer, Ella Manthe had an outstanding year. She was first team all district and first team all region at forward, and she's not here today. She had a conflict, but we will give her Carson Luckadoo was first team all district. As an at-large player, Carson has been our keeper for the last few years, and we're certainly going to miss Carson. And you can see Carson probably came straight from Saunders Brothers. If you go to Saunders Brothers, you'll see Carson there. So Carson had an outstanding year for us this year, and an outstanding career. I'm going to go ahead and mention, we've got two others who said that they were coming, but they're not here yet, so I'm going to try to stall a little bit to see if they get here. Girls soccer, we had another, I mentioned Riley before. Riley was a first team all district keeper. This year, really, we had two outstanding keepers with the boys and girls teams, and Riley did a fantastic job. If I'm not mistaken, 4-year starter at keeper. So we're definitely going to miss Riley in the girls soccer program. And then we also, and if these two come in, we can certainly make sure they get their certificate, and we definitely want to recognize them. And I've got your plaques for the spring sports, so don't leave without those. In boys soccer, Wyatt Muller was a first team all district defender, did a great job. Wyatt's really improved the last 2 years, and he's a junior coming back for next year, so we're excited about that. And then girls soccer, Annalise Tabor was all district as a defender too, and she'll be back next year as well, so we're excited about that. And then last but certainly not least is Hunter Garrett. Hunter was state champion at the 2A VHSL outdoor track meet in pole vault. And Hunter, we thought Hunter was the 32nd individual state champion in school history. We've actually found a couple more, so he's more like the 35th individual state champion in school history. And we haven't shared this yet on social media or anything, but we will. We've got a big new board in our main hallway that says how many, the 21 VHSL state champions that we won in school history, the 28 regional, the 138 district championships, the 13 VHSL Stay in the Game awards, the 35 individual state champions. And that's all in the main hallway. We're going to put all our district championship plaques around that to recognize the accomplishments of not only these student athletes, but our past student athletes, and there's plenty of room for more plaques for our future student athletes too. Congratulations to these guys. I'm very proud of you. I want to tell a quick story about Hunter if I can. Hunter, at the state track meet, Coach Walker coached Hunter a lot, and actually his two track coaches are back here too. That's Angie Vest and Crystal Vest. But Hunter at the state track meet, like 10, 15 minutes before he's supposed to compete, we're sitting there, and we had Hunter at the state track meet. We had probably 35 people from Nelson County there for Hunter, between his family and coaches. It was very well represented with fans from Nelson County. But Hunter yells, "My pole's broke." Okay, that's the only pole we've got, so this is going to be interesting. Now, we've got more at school, but that's the only one we had with us. Well, in that moment, about 4 other coaches in school said, "Hey, we've got a pole that you can use." And then Coach Walker had worked it out with another school where there was going to be another pole there. Because Coach Walker had been trying to get Hunter to move up to a bigger pole all year long. And Hunter was hesitant because it was new and it was different. But then Hunter responded to that adversity, took that new pole, which Coach Walker had been telling him about all year, and got his personal best pole vault and won the state championship. So I just thought that was and Hunter probably didn't want me to tell that in front of everybody, but I'm going to tell it in front of everybody. So, but thank you guys, we appreciate you.
I want to try to get all the kids up here in one without the poles in it, maybe get someone to get one of these pictures of all the kids and use it. You guys want to be in? Thank you, guys.
Congratulations to each one of you all. It's been a joy to watch a lot of you grow up. Actually, every one of you I've seen grow up and excel in your sports, so congratulations to you all. I'm glad to hear them call you Coach Walker, because I never know now that you're the principal. I think you will always be Coach Walker.
That was his first name.
So we're not kidding when we say great things are happening at Nelson. These kids, y'all are doing wonderful things. Thank you all very much. So as you kids are leaving, if anybody is interested, after our meeting, we're going directly to the softball and baseball fields for the first lighting of the new lights on the ball field. So if you're interested after this, we're going to be there. But congratulations to each of you. So we're going to move on to comments from board members. Mrs. Turner-Giles, if you want to start us off on comments.
Yeah, I just have one. It is so good to see Dr. Hester sitting at the throne. It seems like it's been forever since we went through the interview process. But we are so glad you're here, and I am so looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. Mrs. Clark.
Same, ditto, and so proud of the kids, and this seems like a lull in our, we haven't had a meeting in like, 2 weeks? But I'm grateful for that. I did have a training session on parliamentary procedures, which I think I'm gonna take as a hobby and kind of see where I can go with that. But I did share the materials with the rest of the board. It's on board doc if anybody wants to see it. It was pretty basic. It just went over like how motions go and how to change a motion and things like that. But it was probably good reading material to remind us in our, as we start this new year. And then the second thing I want to mention is that if you guys don't already know, the comprehensive plan for the county has started. We're re-upping the comprehensive plan. We're supposed to do an edit of it every 5 years. It's by law. The latest one we have was from 2002, and the last time it was edited was 2014, so it's been quite some time. It is really important that everybody who lives in the county, and actually maybe just works in the county, you don't have to live here to have input. If you're part of the community, I think your voice is important, and so I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that there is a meeting at Rockfish Elementary School in 2 weeks, and then another one at the Heritage Center in the beginning of August. There is a website, Nelson 2042. There's a survey, which I would love to have everybody do. You can only do it once. But I think it's important that the students do it too, and I'm going to see if I can't get them to have a special session with students. Because I feel like the student voice is important too, since we want them all to come back here and learn. So take advantage of that and make sure your voice is part of that planning process. So, and that's all. Sorry, I took so long.
So as far as, again, I echoing what they said, welcome to you, Dr. Hester. We're really looking forward to this next year. It's hard to believe we are less than a month to the start of school. So, yeah, hard to believe, right, teachers? You're like, so we're looking forward to this year. I think, you know, we talked about that we are sort of at this pivotal point in entering a new era for the schools, and you see the success that our athletic programs are having, that our students academically are having, and I think we are really poised to continue to do great things. So I'm looking forward to this next year. Thank you. Dates coming up. So we've got some important dates. I believe Mrs. Turner-Giles and Dr. Hester, you all are headed to the VSBA Conference on Education in July. So, perfect. And then teachers and aides and all that new teacher orientation starts July 27th to the 28th, and then teachers back in the buildings on August 1st. So, just a few important dates there. First day of school, August 10th. First five. So we're getting there. It feels like we just left. But anyway, that's it for important dates. And then any comments from you, Dr. Hester?
Just have a few updates. First of all, thank you very much for the kind words. I mentioned I'm super excited. I think, you know, anytime you can open up a meeting where you're recognizing the students, whether it's athletics, academics, after-school activities in some form or fashion, or community service, they are why we do what we do. And seeing their successes, we're able to take some pride in that. And I think any chance we get to highlight the efforts of our students and our staff, we really want to do that. And just being able to see those kids, you know, I know some of them are on their vacation, which is well deserved, but it was really great to be able to have them here. So it's really nice to be able to see, particularly my first time out. Other updates, you know, we've hit the ground running. We're 13 days in for my time here, but there's a lot of planning going on. As was mentioned, we're having the official lighting of the field. It'll take place immediately following this meeting. The irony of the lights, you know, it's still being sunny out, is not lost on us, but we definitely wanted to be able to have it at an opportunity for our public to be able to see in connection to the meeting. As in speaking with Mr. Mullins, I think he has some other grander plans involved with being able to celebrate that as well. And I'm just so excited for our students to be able to understand the value of having those lights. I really appreciate that opportunity. Staffing just updates, HR's, central office staff, site-based building staff, everybody is really putting a great amount of effort into making sure we fill those vacancies, and so a lot of effort is being put into that, and I really appreciate that. We will begin a process, you know, year in and year out. You know, we are required biannually to review our code of conduct and handbooks, and we, you know, just with the new administration, it makes sense. We have new administrators site-based, new teachers coming in, new superintendent. Just want to make sure we always review it and make sure that we're updating it for alignment of any updates of policies that come down from the state, legislation changes. So we are going through that process. Central office, we've just mentioned it, is going through planning for our new teachers. And our success of a division is based off of bringing in, recruiting, retaining high-quality staff. Some great plans for our new teachers. There's going to be a new teacher tour. Ms. Douglas and her staff are doing a great job making sure we plan, so they understand what our community is and what our student demographics and where they come from. So there'll be a bus tour, so we invite you to come along if you would like to. We have certain stops that we're making, and we have wonderful support from the community. And I think it's so valuable to have that they're coming out to support our new staff. And like they said, we have our whole staff returning August 1st, all county day taking place August 5th. So that's really exciting. Being able to take place, as you see there, August 5th. Booster Academy, the Nelson County Booster Academy will begin on the 25th. It's kind of an all-encompassing, it's an invite only, so we can really target and support students. It'll be 8 to 1 for 4 days, so we're excited about that. Touch the Truck event that's coming up. I'm really super excited about that. It's August 6th, and we're going to be able to use that for a Title I and Title III family engagement night. For those of you, when you have Title I schools, just the extra effort that it takes to be able to support schools and really get that family engagement. So I'm really excited about that. We have some brochures that we'll definitely be kind of posting and advertising as we get closer to that, and that's a Saturday. Really enjoyed being able to experience the National Honor Society Community Breakfast. I want to thank Ann's Family Restaurant. I hadn't been there before, so that was really great. And the student design, student run, They did a fantastic job representing themselves and the school and the community very, very well. So that was a really great thing to be able to experience, but also witness. Great kids, and for a great cause of being able to support our schools so they can give back to their own community and schools. And then, last but not least, Virginia Governor's World Language Academy. This is a student we're going to recognize in the next school board meeting, whether it's August or September, but we will be recognizing. But we did have a student who was our first to be able to complete the academy. It's a Virginia Governor's World Language Academy. So, like I said, that's a big first for us, and particularly as an academic accomplishment, but it's really kind of outside the box. So we're really excited about being able to recognize that in the coming school board meeting. And I will be attending the August 3rd comprehensive plan stakeholders listening. And that is all for my updates. Just a little bit, sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm really excited about it.
So I have a question. On the dates, it's showing that August 9th is the regular school board meeting. That's a Tuesday. We traditionally meet on Thursday.
I believe, yeah, I've double check on that.
That's correct. Those two
Yes, I have it,
dates.
yeah.
So is the meeting on Tuesday, has it been changed?
No, it's not.
Okay.
So it's the 11th.
This is 11.
Okay.
I was wondering why we were starting school on Friday. Because I assumed that the 9th was a Thursday.
Okay, on to the consent agenda. We have the registers for June 2022, the second reading of the meeting minutes for May 12th, and the monthly financial report from June 2022. Oh, yes, I do. Thank you, Steve. Already looked it up.
Can I interrupt real quick? Sure. Is that my other one?
No.
I did want to say, I did reach out to the Buchanan County Superintendent. They're experiencing some devastation from the recent rains and the flood. And so I reached out on behalf of the Nelson County Public Schools and just said, if there's anything that we can do to support you all, please let us know. I mean, Nelson of all counties is very understanding of the impact and the devastation that those types of natural events can have. The superintendent was very appreciative and said any supplies that you might want to be able to offer up, they would be greatly appreciative. There is a centralized location where they are asking to have supplies sent, and that can be, if you would rather, a gift card or supplies. I know they've mentioned that there's a teacher, a couple teachers that's lost everything. They have students who have lost a lot, and there's just, there's just a lot of devastation. So Twin Valley Elementary School is the centralized site for any contributions or supplies that anybody feels generous enough to be able to offer. But I just felt compelled that you have a school system that really wants to kind of get their year started off right. This is an experience that they go through, and it's a little bit bigger than just school. It's their life, it's their community, and I just think that Nelson can be there to support them in any way that we can. So I just wanted to let people know that that was extended on our behalf.
Public comments. Thank you, Tammy. Also, Mr. Perkins is locked out downstairs.
I was wondering.
I'll remind you that when we have public comments, that everyone will need to state their name and address for the record. And, sorry, I tried to help you out. And we are limited to 3 minutes per person, so anyway, I ask that you follow that guideline. Mr. Hebner, I believe we have you first on the list.
Thank you. Michael Hevener, 1146 8 Owl Road, Fauber. First of all, good evening, and again, echo welcome Dr. Hester. We look forward to seeing what you have, and as a pastor, we'll be praying for you guys, and as we pray for all our staff. One of the things I want to echo what Ms. Claire talked about with the comprehensive plan. We met with the workshop last night, and I would definitely encourage everybody to attend that and have your voice heard, especially if you're dealing with children in schools, because that's a voice that doesn't always get echoed when planning the county growth. But one of the things that was was glaringly obvious during that first workshop was that we're not prepared to grow as a county yet. And that bears witness to the problems that the school system will face because we have lost kids. I want to say the numbers were 344 students in the last 5 years, and forgive me if that math is wrong because it's been a few years. And that's with Rockfish and Ty River dropping in enrollment as well. So some due to COVID. So that's definitely something to be taken, but the trend is not good. And if I remember, the projection for this year was going to be down as well. So in the next 5 years, that's something that this board and the Board of Supervisors has to work together to figure something out there, or we're going to have some really hard conversations, and we don't want to see that either. So I just wanted to bring that to light, and I guess that is all I have today. Other than the next workshop is July 20th at Rockfish Elementary School.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Regina Campbell.
Regina Campbell, 2803 Dark Hollow Road, Roseland. I come before you all again today, but more informed than the last time I addressed you. Now that we have been given the official pay scale numbers, to say that I'm disappointed is an understatement. I hate standing here sounding ungrateful because every little bit truly does help. But I guess I was a little naive to think that the additional $1.5 million that the Board of Supervisors did fund the school over last year would go a lot further for support staff salaries than it did. But I still stand here saying that all support staff still deserve a little more than the hand we were dealt. Today, I'd like to specifically address instructional assistants' pay and request that the board consider moving instructional assistants to a new pay grade for the following reasons. 1, while the beginning number on my contract looks a little better than previous years, it also came with 90 more hours of work per year due to the decision to move to one afternoon bus run, so that accounts for a little bit of the increase. 2, we can all assume we will likely have to take on additional duties and responsibilities to help make up for the slack that will be caused by staff cuts and unfilled vacancies. 3, in 2019, instructional assistants were all told that we needed to either have an associate's degree or successfully pass the paraprofessional test in order for us to be considered highly qualified in our jobs. We were told that once we all met this requirement, that information would be taken to the boards to push for raises in our salaries. In May of 2020, we all successfully met this requirement, but unfortunately, here we are in 2022 with still no specific raise in pay for doing this. 4, instructional assistants are asked to wear many hats and often on a whim and without notice. This past year, assistants not only filled in to cover for teachers in their absence, but we were also asked to help with additional duties and filling gaps in coverage caused by unfilled vacancies and absences in other departments within the school too. 5, we help with more than just grading papers, making copies, and the general monitoring of students. We are literally elbow to elbow with students and shoulder to shoulder with teachers all day, every day. We are in the classrooms helping teachers deliver instruction and helping students learn content. In closing, we are all now considered highly qualified instructional assistants, and our pay grade needs to better reflect the important contributions that we make to the lives of our students and the support that we provide for our teachers and other staff. Please consider changing our pay grade to more accurately fit what we as instructional assistants truly do every day. Thank you.
Hello and good evening. My name is Rhonda Harvey. I live at 72 Loggers Lane, right here in Lovingston. Not in the town of Lovingston, but just outside of Lovingston. I am an instructional assistant at Ty River, going into my 9th year, full-time. I have worked previously before that 3 years as a Ty River sub. I want to begin by saying thank you for the raise. It was greatly appreciated. When we look at the $15 minimum that was given, this was a step in the right direction. You will most likely have people to apply as new hires, but will the grade that we are and the step-up amounts beyond this point keep your current employees. Case in point, last year hiring salary for aides was $13.76. My pay was $13.81. 5 more cents an hour for 8 years of experience equals about 30 more cents a day. Jump to the present, pay is now $15.38 for the new hire salary. I now get 70 cents more than a new hire for 9 years of experience, or going into my 9 years. Going into next year, year 10, salary will move to $16.16 with an 8 cents added per hour, for a total of a little over 50 cents extra a day. It would take me until my 20th year to reach $16.99, right at that $17 mark, which at one point was the new hire number. My point in this whole thing is that as our pay goes up by mere pennies each year, other higher up salaries as administration and teachers are jumping by hundreds. Teachers totally deserve their raises and so much more, but we deserve more also. There is no recognition as far as pay of an aide that has a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree, or even the ones that were certified by taking the Para-Pro test. If we are expected to be fill-in teachers, work separate small classroom groups alongside the teachers, monitor lunches, and be behavioral monitors for kids, then we need to have a better grade than our current 6, and the step-ups have to be more than pennies. You all say you want to keep employees and you value them for their consistency necessary for the children. Well, this is not the way to show it. Other schools and job markets are paying $16 to $17 an hour right now for new hires, which, as I just mentioned, would take me 10 more years to get there. So, as I'm standing here, I'm asking you all to investigate the salaries, the grades, the step-ups from the very top to the bottom to see where the money could possibly be better proportioned. I ask that you understand our jobs and our duties and how important we are to teachers and the students. Finally, please make this fair for us so we will not want to leave our jobs and search for other jobs. Thank you.
Hello, Kelly Ferguson, 66 Cary Lane, Amherst, Virginia, in which I live on Tide River Road. So it's Amherst, but it's Nelson County. I am a Tide River Elementary instructional aide. I would like to address the need for additional funding for instructional staff. Last school year was the first year for me to be a full-time employee. I had no idea how little teacher aides actually made, considering the duties that we carry. We also have to work extra to fill in and to help where is needed when staff is unavailable. I do not mind helping and making our team run smoothly when I'm needed. However, what I bring home is very disappointing and downright embarrassing. Luckily, I don't have a mortgage to pay or insurance being deducted right now. If I did, there was no way I'd be able to afford to live. Even so, I have to find other ways to earn income. I work on the weekends and some weekdays when I'm available at a local store just to earn extra cash. Everything I make goes to groceries and gas. I have 2 children I am responsible for, and it's very hard to provide for them the salary. Our schedules are the same, and this is why I find the position good for me right now. Unfortunately, when my youngest son gets a little older, I will have to look elsewhere for another position. It is impossible to make it with what I earn. I can say that I love my job. I know it's easy to say that, but I really do. Being able to connect with the children as I interact with them is very rewarding. Seeing them grow and conquer issues absolutely makes it worth all the time we spend every day working with them. In some cases, our time is the only time these children are shown attention and are being praised. The relationship between staff and students go really far. The children trust us and confide in us at some times. I would like to think having employees who make a difference would be high on the list. Not everyone is cut out to work in the school system. It takes a special person to give themselves to our children. Yes, our children, the children of Nelson County. With that being said, our value is not being showed in our pay. I feel we are not being valued as employees. Extra funding would help ensure that these exceptional people stay on as Nelson County employees. To finish, I would like to say I do appreciate all that you do and that you are achieving and that which you would do to achieve a better pay scale, and I'm grateful for my job. And I'm not a public speaker, and that just took like everything I had. So sorry about that, and thank you guys.
Mark Franklin.
Good evening. I'm Mark Franklin. I recently moved back to Nelson just before COVID, and I'm a parent. I have a son that's at Ty River. He is now going into 5th grade. I have 2 other children that soon will be going through Nelson County public education system. It's great to see that how important athletics is to you guys. It's also very important to me. I'm here tonight basically to kind of better learn and understand, get a grasp of my county, community. I'm an alumni of Nelson County. I was class of 2001 at Nelson County High School. I've moved around, got married, had some kids, moved back home, and I'm happy to be here. What's personally really important to me is how our tax dollars are spent. And just as I'm going to adamantly going to the Board of Supervisor meetings and trying to hold them accountable and make sure my opinion is heard, I'm here to maybe do the same with you guys as the educators of our children. And additionally, you guys receive the largest allocation of our tax dollars. It really starts to get my attention. So as the parent and taxpayer, I'm paying attention, and athletics being important to me. My son Luis has been participating in the local rec soccer and basketball, and I'm noticing a lot of shortfalls within their department. And again, their budget is very minuscule in my opinion. And then I see news that shows the school board asking for an additional $1 million, $2 million, which as much as I want to say, yeah, this is for the education and development of my kids, our kids, that's very important. I just want to make sure that everybody's held accountable and our tax dollars are put in the right place, prioritized, and spent wisely. And I really feel like the Parks and Rec Department definitely needs more funding. And that's kind of my case in point. I'm just here to introduce myself, say, hey, I look forward to getting to know everybody better and better understand the operations of the county in itself and where our tax dollars are going. The one and only strike that I have against the school board so far is that you're asking for more money, and then I noticed that on your real estate at Rockfish Elementary School, the taxpayers are not allowed to use the ball fields through Parks and Rec Department. So that's kind of a strike in my book, and I don't understand how it's even possible. But that's all I really have. I definitely think the support staff needs all the help they can get. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Crystal Vess. I reside at 268 Village Road, Richmond, Virginia. I just wanted to come today mostly to personally welcome Dr. Hester and to also thank you for taking the time to come down and meet some of us in June. That meant a lot. I look forward to working alongside you. I also want to echo the many different roles that our staff are doing and all of the hard work that we do cohesively to work together. We definitely appreciate you all and all that you do. And I'm just looking forward to all of us being able to move forward within the school year, and all that you can bring to Nelson County Public Schools and what we can learn from you moving forward. So thank you.
I think as a board, we're all appreciative with the way that the public comes to our meetings and presents the topics, whether they're topics we are maybe all not in agreement on, as a board. I really appreciate the fact that you all show in your opinions and how you express them, so thank you. Now, we're on to the consent agenda, so we'll go back to that now, appropriate. So can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as a whole at this point? Any questions on any of the content within it?
I move that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passes. So items for information, Tammy has loaded into board docs. As you've seen, the first readings, you know, we've had just a few meetings here recently. So we've got the first reading for the minutes from June 9th, June 16th, and then the continued meeting to June 28th. So those are in board docs, and, yes, okay. Those are in board docs. If you need any adjustments to that, please let us know, but that's an item for information. The other thing, all teachers report on August 2nd, only new teachers on August 1st. So if I said that incorrectly, excuse me. So again, is that correct? Yes. Okay, perfect.
Dr. Zephyr, if you want to.
Yeah.
I'll be too.
We'll be here. Dr. Hester, you spoke briefly on the parent handbook and code of conduct for 2022. Do you need any additional comments in regards to that and what we're doing?
I think it's just, we're in the beginning. We're in the beginning process and really going through and reading through to see what what, if any, do we need to do to make sure that, as we move forward, we take a look at all of it, the big picture, and we align with any new legislation, any new updates, any kind of adjustments to discipline matrices. There was a big overhaul last year from the state, so those changes have been made, but we just always want to make sure we stay on top of things. We want to support our students as much as possible and keep them in school as much as possible through communicating any kind of high expectations that we have, and then have that high support system as well. So we're in the beginning stages. So there's really not much, but I always try to keep everybody updated on this is a pathway that we want to take.
Any feedback as a board, any board members would like to share with Dr. Hester as they begin that process? Ms. Turner-Giles or Ms. Claire or Mr. Perkins?
I don't have anything at this point.
As we said, we were given the code of conduct. If we take the time to look at that and then share any thoughts we've got with her on that, please do so. Shannon, hi.
I'm good.
So Shannon, do you have any personnel, budget, finance updates for us? It feels like we're on the other side.
Yes, well, I will tell you that I'm thrilled tonight to introduce Crystal Choate, who has taken on the role of Supervisor of Human Resources and Communications for the division. And how that position came about is that we had a resignation that we have been hesitant to fill when Janelle Stennett left as Director of Secondary Ed. And then we've got 2 part-time employees that are leaving us, Abby Thompson and Sandra McKenzie. So we've done some shuffling around, and I will be taking on some more finance-related roles with federal programs, and Crystal's gonna help in the HR realm and the discipline realm that Abby did. So we're juggling, so we basically took 1 full-time, 2 part-time, and made it 1 full-time position. So it was creative. We're thinking outside of the box and trying to maximize our resources. And Crystal's been a great addition already. I think she's been run pretty ragged the last week or so trying to fill some positions for us. And so we still have a number of vacant positions. So if I miss any, Crystal will let me know. We have an auto mechanics teacher at the high school that we're looking for, a Spanish teacher at the high school, yearbook photography at the high school, and technology. We still have an elementary position to fill at Rockfish. We have an instructional aid position at Rockfish. We have a middle school English position. We have 4 custodial positions. Greg's looking for a few coaches, I think, still. So they're out there. I think Our cafeteria staff is pretty stable, so I don't think they're looking for anyone at the moment, but if you guys know of any quality candidates that you could send our way, we would love to talk to them.
And I just want to reiterate what Ms. Irvin said about the addition of Crystal Choate. Every new addition is a fantastic addition, but the development of this position, I think, is really going to be beneficial to the overall success of our students because of the human resources side, recruiting and retaining high qualified, all staff, not just instructional, all staff, because every staff member is an educator. And I don't know about anybody else's personal experiences. My experiences growing up, it wasn't just teachers that were impactful to me. It was bus drivers, it was custodians, it was cafeteria workers, attendance workers, instructional aides. So I just want to thank, and then on the other side is the attention and support of the discipline, and not in a negative or punishment way, it's the support, and being able to develop and be able to support our students. And so I think that is a major step for us to be able to support the overall division.
I'd like to give you some updates in terms of our capital programs. August 1st is the grand opening of the greenhouse, we think. They're finishing painting and working on wiring the controls now, and so we think that they'll be ready for the opening of school. The lights are coming on tonight, we hope. They're going to push the button and we're going to hopefully see the lights.
They were tested earlier. They weren't. We did, yeah.
So they were under pressure, our contractor, we told them they had to be done by June 30th because we were paying for them out of last year's budget, and they came through for us. Our secure entrance way at Rockfish, they have cut out the door space and they have, I guess, boarded it up to make sure that it is safe for students. That new door is supposed to come in on August the 20th. So we'll be a little bit into school before that's done, but with the supply chain issues, we're thankful that we're getting it as soon as we are. Carpeting at the middle school and high school areas in the admin wings that we had hoped to do. They're going to be manufacturing that carpet next week, and we're asking our vendor to please try to get it in before school starts if at all possible. So those are the kinds of things that we have on the burner. We met with a kind of a full service roofing manufacturer, general contractor that we would like to have come to the next school board meeting to do a presentation for you with some options on replacing the high school roof. We're thinking that we can go out for bid and have the project awarded before the price increases that go into effect next January. So time is of the essence, and so we would like for him to present to you guys what he presented to us, because we think it's an interesting way to approach the project. In terms of budget, I am so glad that last year's budget is over. That it's not quite over for us. We are in the accrual phase, so right now we're examining every invoice that comes in to put it in the right fiscal year. So we are still getting some bills that have to track back to last year. So our financial statement for the end of the year will change for a 60-day window after the end of June 30th. So we're looking for things like phone bills and light bills and those kinds of things that come in after the fact. So on that, that's all I have. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. We're good?
Thank you. You survived it. Thank you.
I did.
Survived the last budget. Thank you very much, Shannon, for all of that. And Dr. Hester, you've got some VSBA updates for May 2022 for us.
Yes, we've had a few updates to policy changes, and a quick summary. I think if I were to go through all the changes, I think it's thick. So I'm going to summarize that because some of it is just language changes. It's not really policy or anything impactful, but we do have some updates on electronic participation in remote locations for meetings and setting up the school board to determine how many. We do want our school board members to be here, but sometimes we obviously recognize in July or August, sometimes you're going to have some vacations or some other obligations that take place. Minutes obviously posted on the website 7 working days after their approval. Things like reporting acts of violence and substance, just making sure that there's clear lines of communications when certain violations take place. with law enforcement officials, working in concert to try to stay abreast of what's taking place. Coupled with that, now with the pieces of legislation that schools with SROs will now serve on the threat assessment team. So I look forward to working with the sheriff's office to be able to go through the different ways that we can partner together to keep our schools safe, not only physically but emotionally, in all facets to support our community. We have some instructional items that are being updated in terms of requirements, such as health and PE requirements for personal safety training, which will then also be in collaboration with our local law enforcement agency. Also teaching about the impacts and potential addictive qualities of gambling are now being required to be taught at the age-appropriate levels. And then last but not least, some new requirements for driver's ed. So our instructional team is working and will be communicating with our schools in terms of if it impacts them as to what updates they need to make to any kind of curriculum. And again, college and career readiness, making sure that our students understand, the students that have expressed to us who are interested in attending higher institutions of any kind, what they need to do to complete those programs, what certification programs there are. And then obviously staying on top of absences, but accounting for participation in certain activities such as 4-H. 4-H now is an excused absence, working with it, which, you know, particularly in rural communities and any kind of community where we have students participating in such service-oriented organizations that are important to them, that it's not counted against them. And then last but not least, statements and rights and responsibilities required by FOIA now includes additional information regarding costs associated with requesting certain public documents. So that's something that comes up year in year, but the legislation policies have been updated. And that's a quick summary of the major ones that have come down.
Okay, perfect. No action needs to be taken on any of those policies at this point, just information.
First reading?
Yep, just informational only for us, so we'll have some time if you want to dive deeper into any individual policy, we've got time to do it before we actually do a vote. Next order of business is an item for action. Within our board packets, we were given information on a request to provide home instruction under religious exemption. Are there any questions for Dr. McCormick in regards to that request? No. If not, I need a motion to approve that request from someone, please.
You know what, I have a question. This one, the religious request doesn't get follow-up, is that correct? And there are other homeschool requests, they are required to pass tests and stuff like that?
I can speak to that. So if a parent requests standard home instruction under one of the 4 options that we offer them with having a home diploma using a correspondence course, they are required to submit proof of progress annually. However, the code allows parents to also request religious exemption under if they have bona fide religious belief, and at that point in time we do not require annual progress. However, if at such time they wish to re-enroll in the school division, we would allow them to do so.
But they don't get to graduate like a homeschool kid who's showing proof of progress.
Homeschool students do not graduate from our division either. So even with home instruction, the parents determine when the students graduate, but even students under home instruction do not receive a diploma from Nelson County Public Schools.
And so if you had said something bona fide religious, so how do you determine what that is?
If parents request it and tell us that they have a bona fide religious belief that public school interferes with that, we generally ask the board to support that belief and approve the request.
Thank you very much.
Do you have any other questions? Thank you.
Any other questions? So still looking for a motion to approve that request.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
I'll support it.
All right, the motion's passed. So now we'll need to go into closed meetings for personnel matters and I'm gonna miss.
Yeah, I got it. I move that the school board go into closed meeting for the following, to discuss and consider the personnel positions for the Nelson County Public Schools and or other confidential personnel matters as authorized by Virginia Code 2.2-3711A1 for the purposes of discussion or consideration or interviews of prospective candidates for employment, assignment, appointment, promotion, performance, demotion, salaries, disciplining, or resignation of specific public officers, appointees, or employees of any public body. And to discuss legal matter with counsel as authorized by Virginia Code 2.2-3711A8 for consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by the school board regarding a specific legal matter or matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are now.